Hello everyone, my name is Fiso Mkwanazi, a life orientation lecturer. Good teaching is rooted in preparedness, and the success of your lessons are most often attributed to how well you planned for the class. In this module, we are going to look at how to prepare for each lesson, how to manage your time, and how to make the most out of visual aids. Are you ready? The Passport to Success lesson plans are structured to help you easily prepare for lessons. On the first page of each lesson plan is a preparation box. This box will outline what you need for the lesson and what you need to prepare before the lesson. Worksheets are one of the most important requirements for each lesson. Prepare for the lesson by photocopying worksheets well in advance. Photocopy and cut out the group scenarios and discussion topics so each group will get a different scenario. And think of the environment when printing. Save paper, print double-sided. Many group activities require props. Some of the resources you need for the lesson plans are playing cards, a softball, crayons, strings, colored stickers, magazines and newspapers, scissors and glue, and recyclables like egg boxes and plastic bottles. These resources are often very important to explaining the topic and navigating the student's journey towards the learning outcome. So be sure to check what resources each lesson requires. Don't be afraid to get creative. If a lesson plan requires a resource that you cannot get your hands on, replace it with something else. If you don't have a softball to throw around the class, how about a toy or a teddy bear? Substitutions can be made, but they will only be effective if you prepare well in advance. Some lessons also require music, so develop a music library that you can access for all lessons. Some fast music for energizers and some calm music for thinking. Students can also suggest music. It makes them feel involved and part of the class. But point out that music that promotes violence, drug use, or the objectification of women is strictly prohibited. You are encouraged to use visual aids. Visual aids are the methods and materials used to visually display the information being presented or discussed. The advantage of using visual aids is that students learn best by seeing things. We are naturally visual learners. Some of the material and the equipment used as visual aids are chalkboards, whiteboards, smartboards, flip chart paper, handouts and flashcards. If you are writing on a chalkboard or a whiteboard, write clearly in large letters. If you are using a graphic to enhance the visual aid, keep it simple and make sure it is high resolution. You don't want students straining their eyes. And don't write too much. If you feel a board with too many words and ideas, it gets messy and confusing very quickly, making the topic harder to understand and the lesson flow more complicated. You can use the PowerPoint presentation, but if you do, keep your presentation short, clear, and to the point. Limit the slides to 3 per session. The reason for this is that PowerPoint presentations don't encourage interactivity. They create passive environment, not an active one. For some lessons, you are required to make posters or signs saying agree, disagree, or unsure. In some lessons, you only have to make 2 posters or signs, agree or disagree. Make these signs large and far away from each other. In lecturer's help, there will be statements to read out to students. Read out a statement and ask students to move to either agree or disagree space. Then ask few students to explain their choice. They have to give reasons why they choose to either agree or disagree. For example, you should be prepared for each lesson before you walk into a classroom. Agree or disagree. I will hope that you all agree. Lastly, manage your time during each lesson. So let's review how time can be easily wasted during lessons. Number 1, not being prepared. If you spend a minute looking for a pen, you have wasted a minute of learning time. 2, leaving the class to photocopy worksheets. This is unfair to students and wastes both your time and their time. Number 3, talking too much. Keep yourself concise. Spend more time asking questions than lecturing. Number 4, allowing a group presentation to go over. Put your students on the clock. They have 60 seconds to present. You can even make it part of the challenge. Some lessons may take longer than others. If this happens, divide the lesson into 2 halves and split them over 2 lessons. And if you feel the class is ending a bit too soon and you like to have an extra 2 or 3 minutes to wrap up, be upfront with your students. Ask them, can everyone stay for a couple of minutes? Tell your students that you think it is valuable to wrap up this topic or to hear the students' presentation before the lesson ends. Students will respect you for asking them, as it shows that you also respect their time. So, let's summarize. To get the most out of each lesson, remember to do the following. Number 1, make yourself familiar with the content beforehand. Number 2, prepare all necessary resources and material before the lesson. Number 3, prepare any visual aid in advance. Number 4, observe how you manage your time each lesson. Take the time to prepare for each lesson. You will thank yourself and your students will appreciate it. I'm sure you noticed a few things about this video. I was prepared, I used the clear visual aids, and I didn't waste your time. Thank you for joining me for this module and continue to give the best of yourself to your students.